In 2022, 46% of employees say discrimination is a problem in their workplace. It's hard to imagine some people actually think racism doesn't exist throughout the workplace landscape. A third of cases are based on race. So despite everything they've heard from you, or others, or from social media, or the news, to the point where it's just common knowledge, some people don't know racism is alive and well in the workplace, or they just don't care. EPS gives you the ability to change your level of empowerment in the workplace. The most fundamental reasons why these problems continue, other than blatant racism, is because far too often these are scenarios known as word versus word. If someone does or says something racist to you, it's impossible to prove that it happened unless there's witnesses. And unless you have proof, the unfortunate reality is that people must side with your abuser. Why? Well, there's only two people on this planet that know what really happened. It's you and your abuser. And without proof, it's almost impossible to effectively hold your abuser accountable. Meanwhile, you're still a victim. You're just trying to do your job. Oh, and now on top of that, you have to wonder and worry about the next time you'll experience that racism again, because you never know when it'll happen. And even though you've been discriminated, nobody knows it happened. All of this is a function of word versus word. You never had proof. Now on the flip side, if you had proof of your abuser victimizing you, then that sure would fix a lot of problems, right? That person would definitely check themselves before speaking or acting that way towards you again. Plus, if they did, then you could finally hold that person accountable. All the other people at your job won't have a single doubt in their mind about what really happened to you. You were telling the truth because you could prove it. And now nobody can ever doubt you again. My guess is that you came here because you've experienced racial discrimination or microaggressions at your job. Or because you know someone this has happened to. Or you know it can happen to you the very next time you go to work. Remember, there's no advanced warning. Sometimes you never see racism coming until it's too late, and you want to prevent it. There's simply no room in this world for anyone to be treated differently based on the color of their skin, particularly at their place of work. Black, brown, red, white, or blue, it shouldn't matter, and yet racial issues still creep their way into the workplace. You're sick of it, you're sick of worrying, you came here to find a better solution to these problems, and EPS is exactly that solution. Bad people do bad things when nobody's watching. Just think about it. Doors are designed to protect information, but they're also designed to protect people. Unfortunately, in the workplace, they can have the exact opposite effect. Closed-door meetings have become a breeding ground for inappropriate behavior and unprofessionalism. These horrible events manifest themselves in the workplace into categories more commonly known as racism, sexual harassment, false accusations, sexual orientation or religious discrimination, general unprofessionalism, and even child grooming. When you see that door close, anything can happen, and it's now your word versus theirs. And it's not just when you're behind a closed door. These problems can happen anywhere at your job. In the hallway, at your own desk, the parking lot. Abusers will target their victims when there's no witnesses around. And not just physical abusers, but verbal abusers as well. Bad people do bad things when nobody's watching. EPS gives you the ability to change all of that. The next video will explain exactly how the EPS magic can change your work life forever. Just remember to raise your shield.